Hey folks, Iana Kone here. I thought I'd take you through these word problems. I'm calling these level 3, and if you've heard me talk about that before, I'm thinking that's something that everybody should be able to do. It is. A level 4 is hard, you know. But anyway, let's look at these. So these all work with the flowchart for solving problems. I made sure I used those questions to solve these, and I'll point that out here. So I underline the number we have: 32 gallons herbicide in 84 acres. Find the rate of gallons of concentrate to acres. That's what they want to know. And the unit is gallons of concentrate to acres. So it's gallons to acres, and that means gallons over acres. So I started with that. Pretend all that stuff's not there. That's what I started with. I drew the line. Pretend that's not there. And then I went back to the problem. Step 2 is take your number that you're given, 32 gallons, 84 acres. I wrote it as a ratio, and then immediately the step 2 says flip it, because you're going to pick one of these. And I put it in a box. I always do. And I look over here, and I see that gallons is on the top and gallons is on the top. And I laugh because this is math. It's just different than algebra and solving equations. This is definitely math. It's like a spatial reasoning problem, realizing that gallons is on the top and not the bottom, and then gallons is on the top. So you pop that in there, and since it says simplify answer, that's code, and there's fraction is the answer. Too bad they don't just say write it as a fraction, but that's what simplify is, because this decimal comes out to be, if you convert it to a decimal, it's like 9 places long. Simplify is the simplest answer with the fewest numbers. So I just reduced it by 2 until I got that. So the next one, let's see if I can get all of these. Here's the number 330 pounds. Look, I wrote it as 2 ratios. How much is it in kilograms? That's step 1. I drew that line, pretend that's not there. I drew that line, pretend that's not there. I looked over here at kilograms, and I noticed that kilograms is not a word up here. Well, that's the clue to look at your conversion sheet. And it tells you that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Or, so you can write it like this. And now I go back to my problem and look, it says kilograms in the numerator. That's the numerator. And I look for, bam, kilograms in the numerator. I put it there. And then now I look, pounds is in the bottom, the denominator. So I look for pounds. Pounds is in the denominator, so I need it to be in the numerator. Sorry about that. And it's that one right there. And then you just divide it out. Luckily, it comes out to be a whole number. We don't have to worry about decimals. All right, let's look at number 3. And these are all the same exact process. They get one little step harder, which is kind of nice, because you get to learn a harder step one at a time. So I took my number, amoxicillin. That's it's a penicillin type medicine. Per kilogram of body weight, and I put milligrams and kilograms top and bottom, and then I just switched them up. And then the question wants to know how many milligrams of amoxicillin, and there I put that in the answer. Now it says the patient, and it's too bad it doesn't say the patient in number 2, because that's where you get that number from. You have to get that number from number 2, but it's implied. And if you were taking a test and you asked me the question, I would tell you it means that one. It does. So we set it up just like before. Milligrams, look how milligrams is in the top. That means we'll get it as the answer. Kilograms is on the bottom, so kilograms has to be on the top, so we can cancel it. And it tells you which conversion factors you use. Multiply it out, and you get a bunch of milligrams of amoxicillin. All right, let's look at number 4. See, this one says based on part B. That's what they should have done. And it means I'm going to be using that number from number 3. There's number 3. And then it says how many grams, clue as to put grams of amoxicillin and put a line. How many grams of amoxicillin does the patient require? And the patient is talking about number 3. So I'm going to start off, like always, with my answer is in grams. And notice in this problem, there's no conversion factor of grams. That's the hint that you have to go back to your conversion chart. And there it is, with a gram on top, milligram, with a milligram on top, and you'll only choose one of these. So I'm going to go back to my answer, and it's grams. So I want to pick the conversion factor with grams on the top, because I want grams in my answer. And I look over there, and oh, it's that one. I forgot to cross it out. And we put grams on the top because the answer will be in grams, and this sets it up for us. There's milligrams of amoxicillin on the bottom, so I need milligrams of amoxicillin on the top. Multiply this out, and this will save you the confusion with thinking, gosh, do I divide it or multiply it? It sets it up for you, so the calculation is straightforward. All right, let's look at the last one. Let's see, suspension, that just means the medicine that you're going to give that has the, it's supposed to say amoxicillin right there, not erythromycin, sorry. See, I messed it up. So we start out with, there's the information we're given per milliliter, and look, I did it, the conversion factor with milliliters on the top, milliliters on the bottom, and we'll choose one. And the question says, how many milliliters does the patient require? So I put milliliters, that's the units we want on the answer, and I put a blank and then pretend all this stuff is not here. So since milliliters is in the numerator, I want to pick the conversion factor with milliliters in the numerator. There it is. And look how that cancels nicely, the grams with 48.75. You do all the math. And according to the answer there, they wanted all the decimals, so you don't have to about rounding. So I'll post that along with the handouts. Hope you're doing well. Bye-bye.